You can't be an American if you don't speak English. That's one thing I've always heard since I was a little kid. And my dad wasn't comfortable teaching us Spanish because of what he went through. My grandparents came here probably 1922, 1923. Now, they didn't speak English very well. I think Grandpa could probably speak some. My grandma, she didn't like to because she was self-conscious. They got married and they had 11 kids. So in those days, when my dad and my Aunt Lucy and my Aunt Dolores went to school at John J. Ingalls Elementary on 7th, the Mexican kids had to go to school in the basement, in the boiler room, separate from the other kids, okay? You could only go to 8th grade and then you had to go to work because that's what Mexicans were good for. You could work, but you didn't need to go to high school. But Dad went in the Navy and served for the duration of the war, which ended in 45, thank God, and in the Pacific Theater, and he was very proud of that. My dad loved a country that didn't always love him. So my dad was Mexican-American. So my mom was white, my dad wasn't. And back in 1950s, that was a no-no around here. When I was a boy and even as a teenager, I definitely could tell there were places I was welcome and people that welcomed me and others that weren't. They don't want anything to shift that power of what they have now. Mm-hmm. And you dehumanize people and you get your regular good people, salt of the earth people, to just go along with it. Did you ever stop and look at the history of how many times our government interfered with duly elected independent countries all the way down to the tip of Tierra del Fuego, all over the Caribbean Sea, okay? We used them for their natural resources, for their slave labor, and for economic gain of all kinds without regard to the people that lived there. In fact, dismissing the humanity of the people in those countries. And there's a lot of us here that are descended from those people. Think about everything that they've been through, everything that they've lost. They've left families behind. They've left horrible conditions. What would it be like to go to a country not knowing the language, the customs? How would I navigate all of that? So my thing was, I'm going to help you navigate any way that I can. So with regard to the language access, I have enough trouble in English reading those proposals for amendments and whatever, because they do it that way on purpose. Can you imagine what it's like to have just a basic knowledge of how to translate something in a language you barely understand? And you're talking about complex legal terms, confusing on purpose legal stuff. But we use language to keep people from getting power, to keep people from living their authentic selves.